There we go. Week 2 has commenced and has gone. We have also had the catch-up game that was required to finish round 1, which is what you can see here on the screen. We're going to go through this game first. We're going to go through the round 2 fixtures that are complete. We're going to have a look at the stats and look at the table, see how things are shaping up, and then round 3 fixtures. Baby, let's get into it. So, we start here first with the catch-up game. The big green block-off between the FaZe Fist Orc team and the Dalucky Raiders Orc team. The Lucky Raiders may have forgotten to pack their luck in their briefcase. That or the FaZe Fists may have taken it from them, because they were the ones that walked out 2-0 victory on the night with a 1-0 on Kaz as well. Didn't expect many Kazes to be going on for the simple fact that Armor 10 is just so incredibly hard to pop. It was, yeah. But there was one Kaz. No completions, unfortunately. Disappointing. No Greens have got that big cannon arm from their days of... Never mind. So, Wurzag the Mad and Buzzak Stuntyflare were the ones that comes out with the touchdowns, and then Bozgrag the Headbreaker came out with the Kaz, leaving their elo changes of 8.5, leaving the elos, as you can see below. As I just scroll back, you'll see obviously the older fixtures from this round. I'm going to go to round 2. FaZe Fists had an absolute robbing in their next round of fixtures versus... I don't know who this Wolves AoE team could be, but whoever they are must be like a really good coach, because coming out 3-0 victors on the night, but did lose 1-0 on Kaz, and Bozgrog Headbreaker showing himself again. But this game came out 3-0. There was also a completion. It was 3-0 with Jorgen Strand Larsen scoring a brace and Connor Cody scoring a touchdown also, and Joao Gomez getting himself a completion. The next match we will look at, scrolling across, is the Mad Cows versus Crimson Heat. I did have a dead set on the Mad Cows actually pulling a victory, just for the simple fact that a skink team is just so incredibly weak. When not in possession of the ball, it's worrying, and 4-0 on Kaz to the Mad Cows proves it, but they lucky little bastards held out and got a 1-1 on touchdown. They also picked up 2 completions. A minor change in elo rankings, just the simple fact these guys are similar elo, only a 0.4 change. And because the Mad Cows had the lower elo ranking, that's the reason why they've gained the benefit here from a draw. Because I use a website for the elo rankings, so like this isn't me making this up. I input the numbers, I tell it the result, it tells me what to change them to, so don't blame me if you don't like your elo. But yeah, 1-1. Real surprising. We go next to the... This was, in my opinion, my favourite game of the round. The simple fact that it was just not a result I expected at all. This was between the Lizardmen of the Dunno D Dinos and the Neighborhood Watch Alliance Gnome team. 3-3 on touchdowns. Yeah, let's let that sink in. Lizardmen and Gnomes put on a 3-3 performance. It's 2-0 as well to the Gnomes on Kaz. And cheeky little completion from Nicholas Angle. Yeah, I expected like a 2-1, maybe like a classic 2-1, but then by the fact that when the first half ended, their game was already in a 2-1 state. I believe it was in advantage to the Dunno D Dinos. And then the game ended 3-3, so a 2-1 also happened in the second half going the other way. And I don't know what to say. I genuinely don't know what to say. The match blew me away, and I think this round had the match. We move on. this match was played in lieu. This was played because a week early. The ELO numbers, give me 1 minute. On the wrong line. There we go. Apologies for that. I was gonna say, as I was noticed as we were moving, I was like, that don't look right. Here we go. So, the Greg's Gremlins versus the Lucky Raiders. Lucky Raiders obviously trying to make a comeback. The Greg's Gremlins did themselves some justice in the first game, but, you know. 2-0 to the Greg's Gremlins, and 1-0 on Kaz to the Lucky Raiders. Unfortunately, really should have picked up a few more casualties here, considering they were against a stunty team, but it is what it is. This match was played on the Thursday before the Tuesday the matches were played, because obviously Tom of the Lucky Raiders was due to go on his Ollie Bobs. Maybe that was the problem here. Maybe he was looking forward to that nice bit of mimosa on the beach and wherever the fuck he was. I think it was Cornwall or something, but yeah. Lewis picked himself up a nice bump in Elo. I'm surprised it was that high in a 7.1 change, but we don't argue these things, we just accept them. And as you can guess from the missing player, Sam, with the patchwork for a paycheck, had his week off. Very good. I will now examine the fixtures there, as I think we want to look at the league table, don't we? Which is now as follows. On top, with 14 league points, with 1 win, 1 draw, is the Dunno D Dinos. In second with 11 league points, with also 1 win and 1 draw, but less bonus points in the touchdown bonus deficit and clean sheet deficit, because reminder, clean sheet bonus will get you 1 extra point. If you score 3 casualties in a game, you get the Kaz bonus of 2 league points, and if you score 3 touchdowns, you get the touchdown bonus of 2 league points. In third, with their game in hand over the 2 above, is myself with 9 league points with just 1 win. In fourth is Martin of Phase Fists with 1 win, 1 loss. In fifth is Lewis, the Greg Gremlins, with 8 league points with 1 loss, 1 win. In sixth is Patchwork for a Paycheck with 1 win and 7 league points. In seventh is Stuart, the Mad Cows, with 1 draw, 1 loss, and 8. I forgot to reorder these tables. We'll just pretend that Stuart actually should be in 5th, because he has the same touchdown difference as Lewis, but has more casualties. Should we do a little live edit? Yeah, let's do a live edit. Alright, come here, you cheeky fucks. View more cell actions, and we sort this range. We sort by league points first. Then we sort by touchdown difference. And if we're still linked up by that, we sort by casualties and then by team name. So this should fix. There you go, Stuart moves himself up to 4th, actually, over mine as well, because, yeah, same touchdown difference as mine, but 5 more casualties. Now, going into 8th place is, with 4 league points, is Lee and the Crimson Heat with 1 draw, 1 loss, and then in 9th with 2 league points is Tom, the Lucky Raiders, 2 losses. Very good. I suppose now we want to take a look at the league stats. Apologies for the slow transitions, but we'll get there. I may get my macro set up on my Steam Deck, but that's... Looking at the touchdowns scored now, we have 16 individual scorers, but the most interesting are those in 5th place and above, all scoring 2 or more. In first is Barbecue of the Dunno D Dinos with 3, Simon Skinner of the Neighborhood Watch Alliance with 3, Camouflage of the Dunno D Dinos with 2, Jorgen Strand Larson of the Walls Awi with 2, and Sirloin Jr. of the Mad Cows with 2. You may happily look over the rest, going from 6th through 16th. In terms of completions, we have 8 completion team players this season, which is more than we've ever had, I believe. I think the most normally is about 5. But the race is on at the top with the Treeman Nicholas Angle of the Neighborhood Watch Alliance with 4 and Dion of the Crimson Heat with 2. And a number of people rocking it all down with 1. Looking at the casualties now. Only 3 players with more than 2 casualties this season, but 13 Cas dealers. So those top 3 are Blank Jr. of the Mad Cows with 6, Bosgrok Headbreaker of the Face Fists with 2, Danny Butterman of the Neighborhood Watch Alliance with 2, and then a whole host of people with 1. As the screen goes blank for one final time, you guys are gonna be wanting to know whomst is going to be playing in round 3. Who is playing who? Who fights who? And who comes out the winner? Well, as I just realized the ELO box problem we had from the last page is present on the other, I change it and we show you. Now, first game is Sam v. Stewart, Patchwork for a Paycheck versus the Mad Cows. Second, Lewis v. me, the Greg's Gremlins versus Wolves A. We. Third, the Neighborhood Watch Alliance versus the Lucky Raiders, Liam v. Tom. And finally, oh no, go back, please. Thank you. The Crimson Heat versus the Dunno D Dinos. Martin, you have the day off, as this is going to be a game between Lee and Jared. We have a skink off, ladies and gentlemen. Just the Dunno D Dinos have the bigger brothers in the Sauruses. Predictions? Yeah, let's go through some predictions. I think Jared is proven himself to be a solid player, and while Lee is a good player, a skink-only team is a bold choice. He may have got a good draw against Stewart, which I didn't expect, but this may be one step too far, and I'm going to put my money on the Lizardmen to come out. Now, I would be conservative in the touchdowns, but I know what they can do. I'm going to say 3-1. Because I do think the Skinks have the ability to score, but they won't be able to really do much if they get casualtied in attrition. And I would watch lines to the Delucky Raiders. While I would always love to put my money on the underdog, I can't in this case. Bud, you have heart, but Liam's a solid player. And coming in with his gnome team, it's interesting, but it works. And I do think, what would the score be? I reckon it's nice 2-1 maybe. Because I don't think the Gnomes are going to have the strength to overturn the Orc team. So I think they are going to get a touchdown, but I think it's going to be a long drawn one. And with the Gnomes' one-turn capabilities, yeah. Looking now at the Wolves AW versus the Greg's Gremlins, this has all the makings to be a mauling. And not to be too harsh, but I think the Wolves AW team have the ability to come out at least 6-0 winners. Now, do I think they'll score? Probably, if they get their one-turn touchdowns, but I do think that I'll win. And again, I'm probably going to say a similar score to the Lizardmen team. I reckon 3-1. But the other problem is, if I start to cas a lot of halflings early, if I manage to get the ball in the first half, it can go bad very quickly. It is about who wins that kickoff and if his players can stay on the pitch. Moving to Patchwork for a Paycheck versus the Mad Cows. Interesting match. We got an OWA team versus a Chaos Chosen team. Now, this is probably the match that's hardest to call for me. Two, I would argue, similarly skilled teams, Sam seems to be doing all right with his team. Stuart's always tended to struggle with the Mad Cows, but always seems to do well as well can be. I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go with a draw. Go with a draw. I think that's... Yeah, I can't... No, I think it's going to be a draw. I think it is. I'm sure there'll be some opinions in that, but... Very well then. Still around 3 fixtures. And I will be seeing you guys very soon when these matches are done. These matches are intended to be played on Tuesday the 10th of June. Obviously, people may have things going on and not be able to play on those days. Fine. Good luck. Roll skulls. And I'll see you when you roll doubles in your fells.